It usually starts in silence. You're sitting alone, maybe watching TV, maybe trying to sleep, and suddenly, there it is. A faint ringing. At first you ignore it. But then it comes back again and again. A soft buzzing, a high-pitched sound, sometimes like a whistle that just won't stop. And the worst part, no one else can hear it, only you. Now imagine this. You're trying to sleep at night, but the ringing gets louder in the quiet. You feel restless, irritated, even anxious. You wake up tired. Your balance feels slightly off during the day. And slowly your confidence starts slipping. If you've ever experienced this even once, comment "Wes" below. Because what I'm about to tell you might change how you see this problem forever. Most people think this is just a normal part of aging, but that's not true. Ringing in the ears, also called tinnitus, is often a warning sign. A signal from your body. Something is off inside, and ignoring it can make things worse. But here's the good news. In many cases, this can be improved, even reversed. And it doesn't always require expensive treatments or complicated medicines. Sometimes the solution starts with what you eat. Because the real issue is not just in your ears, it's inside your body. Poor blood flow to the inner ear, nutrient deficiencies, inflammation slowly damaging delicate hearing cells, and slow recovery because the body isn't getting what it needs. This is where people go wrong. They try to fix the symptom, but they ignore the root cause. Today I'm going to show you simple, powerful foods that help reduce ringing, improve ear health, and support your hearing naturally. And one of these works surprisingly fast, sometimes within hours, so stay with me. And before we begin, take a second to like this video and save it, because this small action could remind you to protect your hearing before it gets worse. Now let's start with something most people already have in their kitchen. Bananas. Sounds simple, right? But here's what most people don't realize. Bananas are rich in potassium, and potassium plays a critical role in regulating fluid balance in your inner ear. Your inner ear is filled with fluid, and this fluid needs to stay balanced for proper hearing. When potassium levels drop, which is very common after 6th en route, that balance gets disturbed, and this can trigger ringing sounds. This is where people ignore the problem. They focus on noise but forget about nutrients. Adding just one banana a day can support this internal balance. Many people notice reduced pressure, and sometimes even less ringing over time. It's simple, but powerful. Now let's move to something that works deeper inside you. Garlic. Here's the surprising part. Garlic doesn't just help your heart, it directly improves blood circulation, and your inner ear depends on healthy blood flow. Those tiny hearing cells inside your ear are extremely sensitive. When they don't get enough oxygen and nutrients, they start malfunctioning. That's when ringing begins. Garlic contains a compound called allicin. This helps reduce inflammation and improves blood flow to these delicate areas, which means better nourishment for your ear cells, less stress, and in many cases reduced ringing. This is where most people go wrong. They ignore circulation. But circulation is everything. You can take one raw garlic clove in the morning, or lightly cook it in your meals. Even garlic tea works for some people. Now here's another powerful one. Ginger. Most people use ginger only when they have a cold, but its real strength goes much deeper. Ginger is a natural anti-inflammatory. It helps reduce swelling inside the inner ear pathways, and when inflammation goes down, pressure reduces, sound clarity improves, and that constant ringing can start fading. Some people also notice better balance, because your inner ear is not just for hearing, it controls stability too. So if you ever feel slightly dizzy or unsteady, your ears might be involved. This is where people miss the connection. Ginger tea once or twice a day can make a noticeable difference. And here's something interesting. Some people report relief in symptoms within a few hours. That's how fast it can act in certain cases. Now before we go further, comment "Eat" below if you want peace from that constant ringing, because the next foods are even more powerful, and almost no one talks about them. Let's talk about something green. Spinach. This is where most people underestimate nutrition. Spinach is rich in magnesium, and magnesium helps protect your inner ear from damage. It supports nerve function, because hearing is not just about your ears. It's about signals going to your brain. When these signals weaken, sounds become distorted or replaced with ringing. This is where people say, "I hear something but it's not clear." That's a warning sign. Adding spinach to your diet a few times a week can support these nerve pathways. It's not instant, but over time it builds protection. Now here's something most people completely ignore. Hydration. Yes, water. Not drinking enough water thickens the fluids in your inner ear. This increases pressure, and that pressure can trigger ringing. This is one of the simplest fixes, but also the most ignored. Don't wait until you feel thirsty, because by then your body is already dehydrated. Sip water throughout the day. It's a small habit, but it can make a real difference. Now let me ask you something honestly. Have you ever noticed that the ringing gets worse at night? When everything is quiet, it suddenly feels louder, more intense, almost impossible to ignore. That's not just in your head. This is where most people misunderstand the problem. They think the ringing is increasing, but in reality your brain is becoming more sensitive because your ear system is already under stress, and if you don't fix what's causing that stress, the sound doesn't just stay, it grows. Slowly, silently, until it starts affecting your sleep, your mood, and even your confidence. But here's where things get interesting, because the next few foods we're about to talk about don't just support your ears. They target the deeper cause: nerve weakness, poor oxygen supply, and internal damage. Let's start with something very powerful. Eggs. Most people eat eggs for protein, but that's not the real benefit here. Eggs are rich in vitamin B12, and this is where people go wrong. They completely ignore B12 deficiency. After 60, your body absorbs less of it, and low B12 is directly linked to tinnitus. When B12 levels drop, the protective covering around your nerves starts weakening. This includes the auditory nerve, and when that nerve becomes unstable, it sends abnormal signals to the brain. That's when you hear ringing, buzzing, or humming sounds. This is not just a theory. Many people have reported noticeable improvement in tinnitus symptoms after correcting B12 levels. One egg a day can help support this. Simple, but extremely important. Now here's another one most people don't expect: pumpkin seeds. Yes, these tiny seeds carry massive power. They are rich in zinc, and zinc plays a key role in immune function and inner ear repair. Here's what most people don't realize. Low zinc levels are often found in people with tinnitus. Zinc helps your body repair damaged cells and reduce inflammation in the ear, which means less irritation, less abnormal signaling, and over time reduced ringing. This is where people ignore the basics. They look for complex solutions, but forget simple nutrients. Just a small handful of pumpkin seeds daily can support your recovery. Now let's talk about something that works quietly in the background: turmeric. This is not just a spice in your kitchen. It's a powerful anti-inflammatory agent. Turmeric contains curcumin, and curcumin helps reduce internal inflammation and oxidative stress, two major causes behind ear damage. This is where most people miss the connection. They treat symptoms, but ignore inflammation. Adding turmeric to your daily routine with warm milk or food can help protect your ear cells, and in some cases reduce the intensity of ringing. But remember, this is not magic. Consistency matters. Now here comes something very important, and most people don't want to hear this: caffeine. Yes, your tea or coffee. Here's the mistake. Too much caffeine can overstimulate your nervous system, and when your nerves are already sensitive, this can increase the perception of ringing. Not for everyone, but for many people it makes things worse. This is where you need to observe your body. Try reducing caffeine for a few days. See how your ears respond. Sometimes the difference surprises people. Now let's talk about the one that shocked many people: walnuts. These are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, and omega-3 helps improve blood flow to the brain and ears. Better circulation means better oxygen supply and healthier ear cells. This can help stabilize the signals being sent to your brain, reducing that constant noise. Most people ignore healthy fats, but your brain and ears depend on them. Just a few walnuts daily can support this system. Now here's the hidden daily habit that silently makes tinnitus worse: stress. Yes, stress. When you're stressed, your body releases certain hormones. These increase nerve sensitivity and tighten blood vessels, which reduces blood flow to your ears and increases ringing. This is why you notice it more at night. Your mind is quiet, but your stress is still active. This is where people go wrong. They focus only on food, but ignore their mental state. Simple breathing, light walking, or even sitting quietly for a few minutes a day can help calm your system and reduce the intensity of tinnitus. Now let's bring everything together. Your ears are not isolated. They are connected to your blood flow, your nervous, your nutrition, and your daily habits. If you support these, your body starts healing, slowly but surely, and sometimes faster than you expect. So here's what you do starting today. Pick just one food, just one. Banana, garlic, ginger, eggs, pumpkin seeds, or walnuts. Start with one. Stay consistent. Give your body a chance to respond, and then build from there. Now tell me in the comments, which one will you try first? I read every comment, and I try to reply to as many as possible. If this video opened your eyes even a little, don't scroll away and forget it. Take 1 second and press like, because one small action today can protect your hearing tomorrow. Now think about someone close to you, a parent, a friend, someone who keeps saying, "What?" again and again. Send this video to them right now. You might help them before it gets worse. And if you truly want to stay independent, confident, and in control of your health after 6W, then subscribe to Senior Nutrition Tips. Because here, we don't just talk about problems, we give you simple, real solutions that actually work. And before you go, comment below and tell me, which remedy are you starting today? I read every comment, and I reply to as many as I can. Because your hearing, your peace, your quality of life depends on the choices you make starting today.